welcome back to the show, guys. It's your host Duncan, as usual. Here with Taka the boy.
Hey.
Ready to jump into the impact of XG on the modern game.
Very hot topic, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because XG right now, there are too many stats flying around for guys to just ingest, man.
Yeah, it is, and it's not just looking at it from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
They're actually incorporating XG and statistics in how they study players,
Yeah.
how they actually improve on their craft.
Yeah.
So data is now a very big part of football, as opposed to before where it was just tactics and just simple football.
Yeah, I think it's the old soccer was more or less the basis of what we are seeing now, right?
Yeah, but let's be frank. Also, back in the day, it's not like they had a lot of ways to actually collect this data.
Sure.
You'd have to do it as a team, and those were a lot of resources to spend on something that was not integral to the game at that point.
You'd have to have a
At that
full
time.
team ready.
Exactly. Nowadays, with internet, with how
So many
video
apps.
video quality has improved. So many companies out there that actually present themselves as data analysts who watch the game on behalf of these teams.
True.
Yeah, they end up just doing that for them now, and it's so much easier now as opposed to back then.
True.
Yeah.
True. You could say apps like football guys are mostly using it. You could say coaches are using such apps right now to.
I'm sure they have pretty more sophisticated
real life games. Right?
They have more sophisticated methods to get this data. But even right now, this data is just available to us as fans. I mean, just flash score, boom. Yeah, you have statistics, so far score.
Interesting. So expected goals. There are quite some other terms in there that can give too many intricacies to the game.
Yeah, I only have an issue with how XG and statistics are actually looked at, because on one side, right? Don't forget, this is a subjective metric.
Yeah.
XG is just a subjective metric, and it has to be employed in its entirety, if I should say.
Yeah.
However, when we are looking at it as fans, when we are judging players, when we when we look at football and just look at the XG as the way it's presented to us, right? We apply objectivity to it, because let's be frank, as a fan, as a follower of the game, you're gonna follow a stat and you're gonna just base it on assists and goals, right?
Yeah.
But statistics is a lot larger than that. Yeah. I'll give an example. Like my team, we're just filled with XG merchants, Liverpool, right? So we just filled with XG merchants, right? But however, you can lose sight of the quality of this player if you do not actually look at it subjectively instead of objectively. What do I mean? For instance, you look at Liverpool and you see Van Dijk, most passes completed, highest possession turnaround, most you get. However, when you look at it and then you look at the graph and you see like most of the passes he's making just in the defense, right? He has that long ball to his game, and that's what makes him a better defender than most. However, if you don't have that, other players who are going to try and learn his craft or the way he plays, who don't have that ability to hit that long ball, right? They're just going to follow the defender to defender. That's not a progressive football.
Sure.
You understand? So Bosley, he doesn't produce goals and assists, but he produces more in another metric, which is work rate, distance covered. You get it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're going to look at XG, I'd prefer if you look at it subjectively. Don't look for just the things that make you love this player, or the things that you like out of those metrics, because then you'll just lose all focus on the player and judge him wrongly, in my opinion.
Interesting. What would you say let's say the positivities of guys using stats like this, let's say XG or those other?
I think if you're going to do it well, if you're going to do it and you do it well, it shows you your strengths in the game. You get. It shows you which part of the pitch you have more impact in, and if you should employ that, or in spaces, terms of your game that you're probably neglecting, probably subconsciously, because I mean these are players, and I'd assume they have things about their game that they like to do. But football is not just that. You also have to do the things you don't like to do. Exactly. Yeah? So I feel it can also expose you. Sure. It can help you keep track of just how much neglect or just how much over performance you're doing in a certain sport. Yeah, it can help you in those regards. However, there's also a downside to it. Just like a coin, there's another side to it. Yeah, I feel like you have a situation where a player is probably influenced by things that are happening outside the club, outside the sport, with the fans, and how it affects him. Because now we as fans, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at this guy is not scoring goals. This guy is not doing assists.
You want results.
We want results. This guy is not scoring goals or doing assists, but we neglect all the work he's doing in the other side. You get it? And this can also affect them, because now Darwin Núñez, you had a situation like that. I mean, he was a work rate monster, you know, but because he wasn't scoring the goals, I'm sure he has people who do not support him. And this is not just happened for us. I mean, you're looking at other clubs like Mesut Ozil, right? Mesut Ozil, that guy, I really didn't like the thing of like, he's lazy. You get, he's a lazy player and something like that. But if you look at the distance he covers, he would cover a lot of ground. He would play in a lot of positions within the pitch. You get, and he would do work. Probably wasn't the best defensively, but he'd be a presence within the team. But because XG, I mean, we as fans, we're going in a season, is probably he'd have a poor season, have like probably 8 assists or 5 assists, something like that, and they'd write him off. Yeah, but it's for the wrong reasons, bro. Like he was probably still the better player in the team. Yeah. So it's a two-sided coin. It's a two-sided coin. You just have to flip it and hope for the best.
Interesting, because when you say it like that, right? You guys booted Darwin Núñez. Maybe his underlying stats weren't that good, right? And Isak's goal tally and everything else that comes with him are right up there. So would you say some players are misunderstood? Because sometimes you may be putting in the work, right? Cunha this season has been playing, right? But he has 1 goal. Yeah. But if you've been watching the game, and he's a totally different player from what the stats are saying.
Yeah, but now that's a question of just where the team was. Because I don't think Liverpool would have a problem with Darwin Núñez being in the team if we had another player other than Salah, who was bugging the numbers is bugging. We have to accept also the fact that Salah's time is ending, and we need heavy hitters now, because
he needs more help.
Our heaviest hitter is gone, bro. He's going soon, because signed a 2-year contract. You'll be 36, 37 at that time. I don't think he'll stay in Liverpool at 37 playing as a winger in the Premier League. That would just be unfeasible. So, he's in his final lap with the club, final laps if he should. Yeah, and we needed heavy hitters, and Darwin Núñez wasn't that. However, he provides for the game in so many other areas that XG, if you don't look at it the way it's supposed to be looked at, you lose focus. And that's why within even the Liverpool community, we have a few fans who a good section of fans who don't rate him. You get, so XG is just, it's a mad concept, but it's necessary in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you say it provides an edge in terms of, let's say, recruitment as well?
Yeah. Although it can also mislead you. It can also mislead you. But yeah, if you're looking at recruitment, during the times of Guardiola versus Klopp, right? Yeah. There was an uptake of players that were bringing in who had favorable stats or favorable metrics, which led them to their positions in the club. Yeah. Because now you look at players like Jeremy Doku. They needed players for Man City. They needed players who make progressive runs and stress the defense and
stretch that last line.
Exactly, stretch that last line. They had Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling, and they were going. Yeah. And let's not act like when he came to Man City, they were not better wingers at that time, because you had Jack Grealish. There was Rafael Leao. AC Milan had just had a very good season. They had, I think, I don't remember during that time, but there were so many good wingers at that time.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, Kvaratskhelia was doing well, and he just moved that side. I don't remember them very well, but yeah, I remember there was good midfielders at that time, and they went for Doku, who was in Rennes. I mean, he was also a good heavy hitter, but you can see this was clearly just best of stats and the player himself. So it helps in recruitment. However, it can also mislead in recruitment.
True.
Yeah.
Would you say Liverpool has benefited from this?
Oh, 100%.
There's so many rumors going around from you guys recruiting best of.
No, it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. Yeah. When Klopp entered in, his recruitment staff were just data analysts. There was no one there who actually had a strong foot in football. All the recruitment was data analysts, and they went for players who helped Liverpool in parts where we lacked. Yeah. You get. So you had Van Dijk, right? I mean, Van Dijk, we all know his class and he's a good player, but during his time in Southampton, he was up and coming. Yeah. Strong contender for up and coming, but he was still up and coming. And what pushed him there was stats. Mo Salah, it was stats. Yeah. There was an interview where Klopp even admitted he wanted to sign Julian Brandt over Salah. Yeah, and Salah was stats. Sadio Mane was stats as well. Yeah. So the only person I can probably say in that team who wasn't brought because of stats was Firmino, and that was because he was there. He came before Klopp, not even just before Klopp. Before data was a very strong thing that Liverpool was following. Yeah. Klopp is the one who really
before the data-centric era.
Yeah, before that era. So yeah, that was just him. And
interesting because United as well has taken that approach that you guys use now, because we've employed the full data team now for just purely that.
Exactly.
But before we weren't really recruiting.
You just eye test this guy.
Yeah, it was just people have their players and they're going out there just to get them.
Yeah.
But not purely based off what the data set has
One thing I do think about data is that the margin for error is lower.
Yeah.
You get it? The margin for error is lower. At least you may not get 100%, but you'll definitely get like a 60 or 50, 70. If you get in 10 players and 7 of them are doing the job they're supposed to do, then you've just got a good team right there.
Interesting. I think we should hit up Coach Hoki and see.
He sent a video.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Hello, my LTS community.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, and it's your boy Coach Hoki, and today we are breaking down a very, very, very important topic. Something controversial. I might be wrong, but well, these are my personal opinions. So, today we're going to talk about XG, or XGA, or expected goals and assists. And is this the most useless stat in football currently? Well, personally, I don't know where it came from. I don't know whose idea it was, but over the past 2 or 3 years, XG has all of a sudden been a thing. Like, everyone is coming out and, he had the highest XG, or he had the highest. Well, okay, first of all, let's break down. What does XG mean? XG, like I said, is expected goals. And it's calculated over the course of the match. Yeah. So let's take an example of a penalty. Yeah, a penalty has an XG of, I think, 0.78, because 78% of penalties, are scored. So, and this is tracked throughout the game. So, for example, if it's a shot from the left side of the box, it has maybe an XG of like 0 point something, and it goes on accumulating depending on where you take the shot. But why do I think this is a very useless stat? Number one, lots of players are taking lots of shots. So let me give an example, and take note, I'm a United fan, so I'm going to, sort of critique my team. The 2 chances that Šeško got, the 2 big chances against Spurs, those chances are most likely to have a very high XG. You know why? Because a player like Harry Kane, a player like Ronaldo, a player like Lewandowski probably buries those chances. Oh, a player like Haaland buries that chance. But because Šeško got it in that, specific spot, and he didn't score because, he was shit that game, he has a very high XG after the game because he has a very high expected, he was expected to score the goal. So why does it all of a sudden become a good start that, oh, this guy has the highest XG and yet he's not scoring goals? Let's say, for example, Messi takes shots from outside of the box, yeah? So, I mean, he's going to have maybe a 0.04 XG. But the thing is, Messi's shot is more likely to jump in before Martinelli's shot. So if Martinelli shoots from outside the box 5 times, yeah, and then, whatever he does during the game, keeping busy, he's going to leave the game with a very high XG compared to other players. So the thing is, you're going to have Martinelli with a very high XG, and guys are like, oh, he has a very high XG or something like that. But the guy is not scoring. Like, just because he's taking very weird shots. And what I'm about to say next is also like very controversial. But let me talk about Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has a very high, actually for him it's a very high XGA, expected goals and assists. Yeah? But guess what? You're going to be in a game against Spurs, leading 1-0. But instead of Bruno recycling our ball, keeping possession and keeping the ball away from Spurs, he's going to spam it to Cunha or to Mbuemo or to Shesko. And guess what? Man's going to get his XGA stats, because that was unexpected assist probably. He's probably near the box. And don't get me wrong, like, Bruno is a very fantastic player, world class. But I mean, the stats are going to show that he has the highest expected goals and assists. But guess what? Bruno in a game is going to have 10 shots on goal, maybe 2 on target, 6 over the bar, some deflections, but his XG is going to keep on increasing. He's going to spam the ball like 5-6 times, but his, the expected goals and assists is going to keep increasing. So I mean, what exactly is this stat supposed to prove? Yeah, what exactly is it supposed to gain? Because even the what do they call them? The players who don't have the quality are having high XG. I mean, up until maybe 5-6 games ago, Manchester United had the highest XG in the league, but I mean, where are the goals? But because the moment Ahmad cuts in, he shoots. The moment Mbuemo cuts in, he shoots. The moment Cunha gets a chance, he shoots. And we have the biggest spam of them all, Bruno Fernandes, who is going to shoot till, the match ends. So guess what? United on the board, highest XGA, should be performing better. What? But I mean, so to me, the stat is honestly very, very useless. Very, I don't get it. Let's just go back to the basic goals and assists. To hell with this XG nonsense. But well, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you think. Until next time, peace.
Coach okay.
Yeah, I think he has quite some valid points in there.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like saying, that you have to look at it also on the other side. Now, you look at Bruno with all the XG, like you were saying, you'll probably have to jump into now the conversion rate, the conversion stats, because as much as he's producing all these expected goals, what is he actually
putting out?
What is actually coming out as input, you get then it's a very wide spectrum, and we do not do it service, because we as fans, we're going to look at it just face value.
I feel like once you look at the player's stats at the end and then you see a high XG, all of a sudden you're like, man, he has played well, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly.
But maybe those underlying stats are not really showing.
We don't see the full picture. We don't see the full, and we don't appreciate it for the full picture, and that's why we have a lot of these issues where players are getting the wrong kind of clout for their work. Because they're not appreciating his game in entirety. Because if you're going to employ XG or statistics, employ them all, man. Employ them all. Don't just follow one. True. Expected goals and expected assists and base a player off that. So it's, if you're not going to do it well, I'd rather you just focus on the eye test.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the perfect way would be you have to fuse it with the eye test and then fuse both worlds together to create
I'm
something.
not going to agree that because my man Salah is out of the picture with that. Salah is out of the picture if you do that to my brother. I'm not going to accept that. He's my goat.
Man, you've heard it from Chaka, bro. So some of these stats are going to be one-sided if you're looking at certain players, right?
Yes, definitely going to be
Anyway,
one-sided.
so I think it's subjective the way you look at it.
Yeah.
It's all in the
Yeah, but
hands of the
we're
whole.
objective people. We're people, and
Yeah.
people are objective in nature. So it is what it is. It's just one of those. I just hope for the players' sake, the clubs are doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so guys, let us know in the comment section. Is this stat really helping the game or is it really taking us back? So, yeah.
Keep the community going and like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Peace out.